Check, check. There we go. Sorry. Here I am. Here I am. Uh, Sorry. I'm here. Go ahead and drop your rabbits, your thumbs up in the comments. Let me know you're in there. Go ahead and say hi. I'm here, Mickey. I got you. I fixed it. I looked down and I saw my little blue mic wasn't glowing, so I went ahead and fixed the sound. That's my bad, guys. It's the sound card. It's not me. Guys, come on in. Drop on in. It's been an interesting weekend so far, guys. We're going to talk about this. I got a little bit of information to break down about psyops, but we're going to get into what happened. We got video footage of what went down allegedly, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to get into that. Got a little bit of some old content. I want to talk about videos and predictive programming and social engineering, where they guide the masses the way they want them to go. Like, this is the game that's being played right now. This isn't something that is to be played with. Like, this is what I'm trying to say right now. What we're watching to some form is a coup. Now we're going to talk about that too. Like, there's different forms and there's levels. They all have names. So we're going to get into this today. All right. Or tonight. So I see you guys coming in. What's up, Mikey? Steve, what's good, man? Yep, had to get the volume. You guys know it's the sound card. I keep forgetting I'm not running directly through the computer. So it's my sound card doing everything for me right now. So I'm a little set up. But nonetheless, you guys come on in, get comfortable. Tell me what you guys are thinking, man. After what's gone on, you let me know how you're feeling right now. Because how I'm feeling, like, when I saw it, I thought it was like fake news. I saw it on my phone. So listen, when this happens, I'm not watching TV, right? I'm in my phone reading. I'm not really doing anything crazy, right? I see it come across my page in a notification, and I'm like, okay, attempt. So I go on, turn the TV on, see what's going on. It's all over the news. We're up here talking about real deal attempt. So I watch it, you know what I'm saying? They're playing it back because I think I missed like the first 5 minutes of it going live and broadcasting on every channel. So when I finally seen it, I was like, okay, so someone took an attempt, but then as much as I want to say this, it came off real just scripted, like we've been saying. And I want to make something very clear about this scripted false flag narrative, this term. We're going to get in some education of this information in these terms tonight, okay? So listen, for the people who are going to watch this and who have been in my comments, I hope these same people who've been in my comments all day in my reels and all the other stuff I've been posting in my stories, I hope they're watching. I hope you guys are sharing, share, okay? Listen, when people say that this is scripted or it's false flag event, it does not directly mean that the whole event is fake. The outcomes of these events are real. People are losing their lives behind narratives not being told like truthfully. All right. So let's think about this, right? When we say scripted, think about the WWE. They're scripted, but the injuries and the things that happen are real. The lives, the people, the interaction is real to an extent. They do stuff, they get injured, they break stuff. That doesn't make it less scripted. It just means that there's injuries playing a role or a character in the entertainment business. Now, when we say, hey, this isn't what you think it is, people go off the brain and say, well, you're saying none of these people died or thing. No, that's not what we're saying. We didn't say that. What we're saying is the reason this is happening is not the reason it's what you're taking in. What's being shown is not the direct reason. This has ulterior motives. This is where the false flag narrative comes in. False flag stating it's a false event. When something's happening, they're saying is wave your flag as something is happening. But if you waving it on false pretenses, you can get someone hurt. That's the whole point of this. So when we're saying false flag, it does not mean the people being harmed is fake. That's collateral damage to what we're dealing with. To these people we're dealing with, they look at us as collateral damage. So Always remember, when we say these events are scripted, we do not mean in a way that, oh man, those people didn't really die. No one said that. My condolences to the people affected to that. In any event that has transpired, my condolences. But what I will always tell you, what they tell you on that box ain't the same thing as what actually happened in that moment. And think about it, people. Think about this. I'm gonna get the comments, all right? Just I'm cooking real quick, all right? Think about this. Your perception is based on your sight, your smell, your hearing, and your touch, and all that. Your sensories, right? Your sensories cannot take in everything going on in front of you. In that moment, if you are in that moment, you are not taking in anything other than the immediate hyper awareness action that's going on. So for a person at that event, it's going to register different. And this is where we're talking about the scripts and the psyops and how this is moving. And you have to remember, it's multifaceted. There's layers to this. So if I'm there in that event, I cannot process that situation's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, this wrong. I can't process that because I'm in the moment. So false flag narrative will not register as it's transpiring in real time. But after evidence, imaging, and narrative education, and just discernment, general damn discernment, one would understand why these things are being said. If we have a history of propagandizing things, we have a history of pushing narratives, we have a history of faked and failed protests. We have this history. So when you see something, you may not actually be taking in what you're actually seeing, but your mind can only fathom so much. So if you don't understand what's going on out here, when someone says false flag, you're going to be like, blasphemy. And that's not the case. You have to hear it out and understand that there's so many moving parts. All right. Hey, Steve says you already know what I'm thinking. Hey, it's been a long week, man. Yeah, it is that kind of year. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Hey, I'm here, man. I'm getting back into it slowly. I meant to come back tomorrow night, but yesterday transpired and I felt the need to talk about this and see what you guys are thinking. Now, all right, we've gotten into that whole what is false flag? What is the narrative? What are we saying when we say these things? Okay, that's what we've been saying, is that it's scripted. It's not what you see. There's a lot of moving parts, but the outcome is what is expected, is what I'm trying to say. They want the outcome. They want the tug at the heart, the strings, the American feeling that, hey, someone's after our president. And 2 weeks ago, if you guys remember his immunity ruling, they said that he had the immunity as president, so that means Biden had the immunity. And if we remember what the leftists were saying on different social media platforms, you had people calling for attacks on this gentleman. I'll never condone violence. I will never say that you can do stuff like that, but that's what was being said on Twitter and other platforms. The now president should use agencies to go after former president. This was the word that was said. It's out there, okay? Now, 2 weeks later, at the beginning of the RNC movement and campaigning and all that, this happens, if I'm not mistaken, in a blue state. Someone let me know if I'm on to something. I think it's blue state. Should have looked, but get back to that one. Now, what does this mean? All right. Now, we know from the information, we've seen the alleged shooter. It's Thomas Matthew Crooks. I think that's his name. It's on my Telegram. I've been posting in there like crazy, trying to get all the decent information out. Right or wrong, the point is to get you guys to read and understand what's going on. And let's all figure out where the false information is at and what's true. All right. This is why we're here tonight. We got a couple things to talk about. I'm going to get to that. We're still in intro mode right now. All right. So if you're now just coming on, we've already talked about what's the false flag. We've already discussed basically how the narrative is pushed and what it is and what actual perception is in a situation like that. Again, perception is what your mind and your senses can take in at the moment, and what you can formulate in your mind. So inside that situation, like I said, if you were there in person, you are not going to take in what we're taking in on this end. Okay. So you're gonna miss something in live action because you're dodging bullets. You're moving. You're scared. You're not taking in that. Oh my God, false flag. You're gonna automatically think the left is trying to kill him. It's this and that. It's this and that. And it's this and that because that's the narrative that's been pushed. And this is what the psyop is that we're gonna get into. Before we get into that, I mentioned something a lot of people may have not heard of. Some have heard of. If you know, you know. It's called a coup d'état. All right. I got it pulled up on the screen. Quick reference. Always use Wikipedia. I get it. May not be the best, but it's coup d'état. Simple term, not brain science. Okay. This is simply a coup. It's typically or illegal and overt attempt by a military organization or other government elites to unseat an incumbent leadership. All right. Now, there's different forms of these. All right. And when people hear coup, people say, well, Jan 6 was the coup. And what else? 1948 after World War II was the coup. Well, there's levels to these coups. There's different forms. It's never going to be just one big show. It's going to be one singular incident that connect until you get the big hoorah show that we're getting ready to come across now. All right. So when we mention coup, I'm going to mention two specific ones that I want to talk about. Okay. I got constitutional and I got palace. I want you guys to listen to what I'm about to say. I'm going to bring it on the screen for you. Let's see. Share the screen. Stand. Window. Go. Share. Boom. All right. Sure you guys can see that. Yep. All right, listen to this. Palace coup or a palace revolution is a coup in which one faction within the ruling group displaces another faction within a ruling group. Now, inside of our ruling groups of America, our ruling groups are the power elite and the corporations, all right? This is where this deep state thing is coming from, that he's fighting the deep state. Well, to be part of the deep state, you got to actually be in the deep state. And that's kind of my point about this whole situation being a psyop, or left wing, right wing, same bird, okay? To take on these people, you have to be one of these people. All right. So for this man to do whatever you guys believe he needed to be doing, he would also have to be implemented in the same filth that you're looking at. And it's just kind of how it goes, right? So that's a palace coup, right? Happens amongst the people, happens amongst the Russian czars. Now, the constitutional coup is the funny one, because if you listen to this one, it says when a person or group seizes political power in a way consistent with their country's constitution, as opposed to a traditional violent coup d'etat, often exploited loopholes or ambiguities in said constitution. Supporters of the constitutional coup exploit their political power to semi-legally seize more. Constitutional coups can be carried out in many ways, including removing term or age limits, changing electoral rules to hinder opposing candidates, and postponing elections indefinitely. What does that sound like to everybody? Haven't we been having this conversation about old Sleepy Joe maybe turning off the lights, or we're not going to make it to an election? Okay, what you're saying would be a constitutional coup. Okay, that's what that is. All right, if you're following me, let me know. Hit me in the comment section. All right, it says constitutional coups are often facilitated by weak democratic institutions and an absence of democratic culture within countries. Struggles between rival factions, particularly between ethno, cultural, and religious groups, are a common facilitator of constitutional coups. Constitutional coups often involve willing and participatory parliaments and changes to term limits, often accompanied by other constitutional changes, which are meant to weaken political opposition and ensure election victories. These coups are considered a relatively recent occurrence in global democracies. All right. Now I'm gonna go down to something, because in America we seem to effing forget that this has happened recently. If you look at the United States in 2000, guess what it tells you? It says the United States election debacle in Florida, where then Governor Jeb Bush called on the state legislation to simply ignore the contested vote count and give Florida electoral votes to candidate George Bush, a fellow Republican and Jeb Bush's brother. So when we have all this doggone outrage in 2020, I'm absolutely shocked that no one remembers the first time they did a coup and no one said anything. Yeah, he made a little rustle, a little fuss about it. But ultimately, this is what happened. Now let's speed this up 24 years, okay? Bring myself back. Let's speed this up 24 years. All right. From 2000 to 2024, if you haven't noticed the changes that have transpired, I don't know what to tell you. Constitutionally, we have been changed for the good and the bad. Now, I got something else. I'm not going to get into this yet, but we have been switched and changed in a way that it was very subtle and no one understood, because if you don't teach this, you don't know. And when we're talking about this Trump debacle right now, this is all tying into this. Follow me. When we're talking about this Trump debacle, okay, we have to understand when we're being deceived. Now, I'm not saying those people weren't harmed. I did not say that. I'm saying, but we are being very much so deceived, because if you've heard the facts, this gentleman was on a building inside the perimeter, if either inside or a little outside of it. He was there. I've seen the videos. I have them on Telegram. If you've been on Telegram, go ahead and check on there. I have it on there. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this link. Copy link. This is for you guys. Go over to Telegram, man. Get a peep. See what's going on over there. I got a lot of information from different sources, different various ideas. Just something for you guys to look into. All right. What I'm saying is, psyops are real. Okay. When we say scripted, it means someone is managing the strings of the show. This is the first coup attempt, but this one that we're watching is going to be very unique. Now, I made some statements in my video about this and saying that we have essentially immortalized this man. I now put Trump in the category of American legacy as to like American hip hop, right? And you listen to where I'm going with this. Listen where I'm going with this. Remember when Tupac got shot and how big he grew? And when a rapper gets shot, how big they grow? Even in the gangster world, a gangster doesn't get his stripes until he's handled business and someone tried to take him out. It's just one of those games, right? But you get pushed up higher for essentially taking a bullet. In this situation, on a social engineering level, Americans are already riding with this man blindly. You have groups of people riding with him blindly. And in other situations, you have people who believe in the politics side of it riding with him because they still think that the system is working for both sides. It's not. It's not working for anybody but rich people. They haven't realized that part yet. Now, this whole thing, this whole entire thing, is what we would call a coup attempt. And when we look at it as such, it makes more sense, and we get to the root of the cause. Now, when we talk about psyops, psychological operations, they work. You guys remember the video I showed you about the ghosting machine? I got that up here tonight. We'll maybe dive in that a little bit. But understand that when we're talking about psyops and coups, we do this. This happens a lot. And generally in Trump's situation, this whole attempt has made him bigger. He's like the gangster. The Americans love felons. We love people who are like us. They're making that man like us, basically. And that's the psyop. That's the connect point for Americans and Trump. The name of the game is influence. For all my people who read the Bible, any form of religion, you understand that there is some supernatural thing going on to where they say this group of people's collecting souls. You need someone of mass influence that the people will follow to hell. Right now, Trump is that man. This whole incident, these people are ready to go to war behind this man right now. They are blaming the left. They are blaming alphabet agencies. No one really knows what truly happened other than what we are taking in real time and information that we're getting. We're watching it happen. And from the looks of many people in this rabbit hole, we all understand what's going on, or at least we agree in different sides of they're playing us right now. If you thought Biden had a chance, he never had a chance. That was the trick. The trick is he's so bad that it would morally degrade America and bring them to their knees. Till they be so desperate for a leader, a savior. Albert Pike said it. When they want a savior, we're gonna give them the savior. America wants a savior so badly because the way we're living has been degraded morally, logically, spiritually, emotionally. It's degraded. So now people are desperate, and even more desperate now. The presidential candidate is just like the American people. Now he's been shot, he has a felon, he doesn't pay taxes, and he likes prostitutes. It sounds like a blue collar man to me. I'm black. This is the whole point of this whole black job comment. Now there's reports saying, will Trump resonate with black people after being shot? Look at this shit. This shit is propaganda. It's influence. They want influence. Trump now is the biggest man in presidential history. This man is John Gotti of presidential power now. And if he doesn't win this election, you surely better believe they're going to scream foul play. And if he does win the election, the other side is surely going to scream foul play. And I don't think it's enough migrants to come in and help Biden win this election. Oh, yeah, y'all saw that, right? They're going to try to let them vote. They're going to give them IDs and social security cards and allow them to vote. It's going to happen. Told you this. Cloud pivot strategy. Multiple psyops happening at once. They're multitasking us right now, right? All right. Now, Ghost in the Machine discusses the ability of psyops to reach. And while this is just a promotional video, it make what they're saying is very true about the fourth psyop division in the army. They do work behind the shadows. They do sway political opinions and public opinions. They have documentation on this. I have that tonight too. I have a case study about psychological operations from the Air Force. This is real content. I have it. I'm not going to read all that to you, but we're going to get into that. We're going to break down Trump, the image, the viewership, what you're getting, what they're thinking, and what we've been getting. Remember, we have the movies, Leave the World Behind. We have Civil War. We have old movies like Red Dawn. We have doomsday movies like Armageddon, Americageddon, whatever it's called. All right. So there's multiple things that's been shown to us that this is something that's not unbelievable or unheard of. It's just a situation that we haven't embarked in on yet. All right. Now, let me find video. Here we go. Get back to the screen. Now, this is the Ghost in the Machine video. We talked about this some months ago. You know what I'm saying, about psyops and how this is working. Now, I bet you how relevant this is now. Listen to what they're saying and take in this information. All right, just hear it out. It's really dope. All right, I'm back, guys. I hope the audio didn't try to go out on you. If it did, sorry about that. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. All right, listen. Why did I play that? I want to mention something real quick. All right, this is a system. This is a machine, and it is a running machine, well oiled, ready to go. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I see my mic moving, so I know I can hear myself. All right. So look, I also got the footage that, when it happens, like 2 minutes and 30 some seconds. We're going to watch that one too. But what I'm saying is what you're watching, everything they touch can be fake. It's imaginary. It's not what you think it is. That does not mean, you know, it cannot, says the clip. Oh man, the clip didn't have no sound. Haters. Haters. Sorry about that, guys. Anywho, we'll explain it. So the video is basically breaking down what are psyops, the fourth psyop division in the army. It's a strong division. They got great marketing. I'm not gonna lie, but the video is basically saying the ghost in the machine is them. Anything you see can be used against you. You don't know what you're looking at. You don't know what you're watching. It happens in live time, and it may not be what you think it is. This is the conversation that happened yesterday, and it immediately came out. All right. So as soon as it hit the airwaves and media, it was boom. Everyone was like, okay, assassination, we're here. What's going on? Because there's some crazy people in the world. I won't deny this. I won't sit here and act like there's just not cold-blooded people in the world. But I always know something. When you involve the alphabet boys and when it's time to get rid of somebody, they don't miss. They don't miss, guys. All right. So that I'm being honest. The person that did it, hey man, it is what it is. He's gone. He can't tell his story. So however it played out, we don't really know fully. We're just breaking down the information as it comes to us. Now, a lot of you guys are giving me good stuff. Miguel says, anyone with the inkling of a brain must understand that was a setup. Who misses 3 shots from 130 yards away makes 0 sense. As well, claimed that they were a government sniper on a rooftop pointing at the so-called shooter. Guaranteed false flag attack. All right. They want violence. We need to render nonviolent justice. And this is really true. The solution is so fucking simple, it hurts. Arrest the entire government and hold them accountable for their actions. The government is only composed of a couple hundred people. He's not wrong. The problem is like the government can get arrested, but we are not going to get to the immediate problem. The immediate problem is above the government because we have these elite, bureaucratic, aristocratic, whatever you want to call them, families that are still around, apparently making things happen. And those are the string pullers if you believe in that kind of thing. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying that if you look at all the research, clearly there is something there. All right. Now, as far as what transpired yesterday, we're going to get into the video. All right, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is also from other media sources, so it is not like I called somebody and was like, give me detailed video. No, this is basically just content I found. All right, give me a second. Stop sharing that screen. There we go. All right. Where's the video? Here it is.
If you want to really see.
Oh, don't start. Don't start. Hopefully they don't kill my sound on this. Hopefully they don't, guys. All right. Got footage. We are good. And get out the way.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
It's questionable. All right, guys, look. I know everyone's sentiment in these comments right now, sentiments, whatever the word is. I know exactly how we all feel watching this. Listen, there's a lot wrong with this situation. There's a lot wrong with this, okay? I just want to say that. Couple things. All right, let me bring my face back. Couple things, guys. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. Couple things, all right? Now, I don't deny a lot of things about the video. Like, there's only a couple things that stand out to me. What stands out to me mainly is the distance, the caliber of round, the detail as far as the security detail, and the fact that his bleeding in his ear don't match what I was expecting for a rifle round to go off your ear when your ear is made of cartilage. And the damage range around the neck, blood splatter, because this is a real thing, right? When we talk about forensics, we talk about blood splatter, distance, range, speed, target assessment, whatever, right? Okay, 3 shots, allegedly. Okay, 3 shots on top of a roof, somewhere around 130, 140 yards out, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, now this kid is not trained. He is not anything of that nature. I can't say if he knows how to sight in or do anything of that. I'm just saying that a lot of the stuff that we're talking about is questionable, or the points we're asking or making are questionable. The bleeding of the ear may be the most questionable shit I've ever seen. You guys remember WWE fights? And you guys remember like when people get injured or they fall, they cut themselves or they had little blood capsules and stuff like that. I'm not saying nobody got hit. I'm saying Trump didn't get hit. I don't care. I'll say he didn't get hit. I'm saying there's a whole failure of security considering there's a water tower with a higher vantage point when in that little warehouse and where that gentleman was laying on. And also, I don't know if, you know, as we go back, I'm gonna go back. I wanna make something very clear. Let me show this on the screen. I want you to see this, all right?
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
All right, first 3 shots, cool.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
I mean, you know, this is the part that I find is the alertness of air. Listen, look. body language isn't giving the body language just isn't giving sense of urgency. If anyone's ever served in the military, you understand what a sense of urgency is. I understand that you need to understand what's going on, but the motive is to get the president out. Something's really wrong with this situation, all right? Because he's behind the stand, you can't see anything. Again, I say I don't think the man got hit. Trump is what I'm saying. Couple things. I've never been shot before. I assume it hurts. Anyone who's ever been shot typically grabs a wound. That's just my understanding of human body and shock. I'm just going to be honest, all right? Secondly, the bleeding out of his ear does not line up with anything known to anatomy and physics of bullet trajectory. I'm just his ear's still attached. Now, I've seen the picture of what they were saying was a bullet hole in his jacket. He had a bulletproof vest on under it. What I'm saying is that is not what we think it is. It is what it is. It is an assassination attempt, but there's something wrong with it, and everyone is sensing it right now. And we know that they'll do this. Like, we know Kennedy was assassinated. Martin Luther King was assassinated. You know what I'm saying? Fred Hampton, Black Panther leaders. We understand a lot of people have been assassinated in the world. We understand they don't miss. We understand if they want you, they typically don't miss. Right? We understand that. Right? When we're talking about real agency intelligence and alphabet boys, we can understand that they dropped the ball in this situation because these people don't miss. That's all I'm saying. Okay? They want you gone. They don't miss. Now, that also proves the point of the alleged shooter. Okay? The alleged shooter is not qualified to be making a shot from 130 yards. That's what we're all assuming, right? $1 million question is how did you not see him? Because I shared it in my Telegram. Yeah, I saw that. They say, did you see ABC? Did you see ABC this evening? They tried to say that they got the bullet on camera. I saw that. I haven't done my deep slow motion analysis of it yet, but all I'll say is I can do that also. I'm just going to be fair. I can do that with amount of time, imaging, propaganda, because it's not illegal to do that, right? You can put propaganda in most media and it's okay. Okay. So, oh, did I close my oh my god, I didn't close it. Oh, okay, I didn't close it. All right, so you can put propaganda in most information now, and that's something that has to do with the Smith-Mundt Act. All right, and this is pretty much what goes into what propaganda and how propaganda gets pumped into our media, which goes along with what we're talking about in psyops. When I keep mentioning psyops and propaganda and how it's leading up to this, because remember what I said 2 weeks ago, the left was calling for attempted attacks on this man's life. They said it out in the open on Twitter. And 2 weeks later, here we go. It's predictive programming. It's like saying the inevitable was coming, and they played us. Now you have Trump, who's immortalized like Tupac, and he's out here basically death rowing it, and people are making fun of it. They're like, he got shot. He's getting elected. Biden never stood a chance. As much as the left wants to believe it, anyone who believes in Biden, I'm not saying you're delusional. I'm just saying you're being played like you're being played on the right. As much as we want to assume Biden's incompetent, he's fairly incompetent, but incompetence doesn't get you that far in life. Not to where Biden's actually made it. He's sensible. It may not even be the real Biden. We still have that question. But what I understand from Biden, he's old as dirt. So it comes off as incompetent when he stammers and he stammers amongst his word. But what we're not seeing with the trick is what I've been saying is we're watching the right was watching the left hand the whole time while the right hand was deceiving them. So the whole time, as soon as this happened, what did we all say? The left. And the whole time, the deception was the right in your face. It is in a blue state. It is the beginning of the campaign trail. The gentleman shouldn't even been that close. It's a lack of security on all parts and complete breakdown of communication. Rest the souls of the people involved, but a lot of that footage was showing some questionable stuff being presented. So this is where the misinformation comes in and the propaganda. So we don't know. It was people in my comments talking about it's a Chinese nationalist, and it wasn't. So this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. The propaganda is out there. The lies in the media are already spinning it. My biggest issue with this whole situation is that you immortalize and empower his followers now in a way that we have never seen since maybe the 70s. And the last time that happened in the 70s, it was the government against the people in some degree. This time, it's going to be the Americans thinking Trump is on their side when they're not being told that they're being led to the slaughter, possibly. Because the name of the game is influence. If we're talking about a satanic death cult marching the world, then guess what? The biggest thing they want is influence. That's why we have celebrities and elites, some social influencers. This is the whole part of the psyop. They got people feeding us information, making us think that this is the way world's supposed to work, and this ain't how this shit working. Clearly, they don't miss. You've heard the stories of people being found double tapped in the back of the head. Understand that it takes a lot of work to do that with one person. Steve, and this is the most unfortunate thing. Someone has to die in the arena for the show to work. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not someone has to die. It makes the show better. And that's so cold. That's what we're dealing with. These are the kind of people we're dealing with right now. Like, this is a real situation. Americans right now are following a man they don't fully understand. And it looks good because he's just like us. He's a felon. He's been shot down. He's president. He's rich. He's powerful. They say he was good looking. That's maybe 40, 50 years ago in the 70s, man. That man is old and pretty much like everybody else. How do you think he's been sitting rich the whole time? Sure, mommy and daddy, but he knows everybody. Like, he's still rich. He's still an elite. This is why I mentioned the palace coup, because just because one person sits on one side of the table and someone else is sitting on the other side of the table doesn't make them one of them is your friend. They're neither one of them are your friend. It's just a play of power on a psyop. Because the American people are buying it right now. It's a lot of people upset. It's a lot of people upset right now. It's a lot of left and a lot of people making statements that are getting fired, that's going to get them fired from their jobs. To sit here and condone this and be like, hey, they shouldn't have missed this and that, you're going to get fired. Stop playing with these people. Freedom of speech ain't that free. Get fired for it too. Truth of the matter is, there's a lot of stuff happening right now, and the masses are not picking up on it. Now, there are a lot of people saying that this is not real. A lot of people know what we're talking about. Like, a lot of people say something's wrong. My own dad called me. He was like, yo, this doesn't make sense. The man gets up, fist pumps. It's perfect. America. The only thing missing was a big ass eagle on fire screeching. and what's that song from Top Gun playing in the background? I don't mean to make fun of it, but when you see the marketing ploy and the heart and the strings being tugged in which how they did it, the blood splatter is not even real. It doesn't look real from that man. Like, that man, no. He gets up, he just took a bullet in the first thing. I get it. You want to, but what about your ear? Immense pain right now. You don't grab, there's no, you got a little smear of blood right here. At some point, we got to acknowledge it. Like, this is part of the misinformation campaign. They're going to sit here and, of course, this video is going to go all over the internet, right? I'm going to get flagged within next week or so. Misinformation, propaganda, and we know that's the ploy. But if you watch what's going on in front of you and remember what the WWE looked like, it's literally the same thing. The debate is just a show. It's just bread and circus. Like like I'm telling you, like when we say scripted, think about movie sets and is it Robert De Niro? Was it Robert De Niro? The dude on the Rush set that shot Alec Baldwin. There we go. That gun was supposed to be a prop. That whole set was scripted. Guess what? Somebody died. Think about what I just said to you. Let's use the Rush movie set as an example of how this happens. The Rush movie set is scripted, it's fake, but someone put a real bullet in the gun and still shot it. Someone still died. Whole set scripted though. This wasn't supposed to happen. Now let's take that to this Trump situation. Someone puts bullets in the guns, goes to the rally, puts 3 down range, misses Trump, hits him on the ear, hits 3 other people. 2 hit, 1 passed away. All right. So it's still scripted. Just because someone passed away doesn't make it any less scripted. It just means that casualties of the bread and circus make the show better. And that's unfortunate. All right. That's exactly how the WWE does its stunt work. Blade job. I've done it in haunted houses. Like it's stunt work. It's what it boils down to, guys. It's stunt work. And what we're looking at right now in America, like it's real. It's a real situation. They want a reaction. That's the point of the PSYOP. They're pushing the social narrative on us in some form or fashion. They want a reaction from us. And they're going to get their reaction because now you have made this man bigger than ever. And that was the whole point of that conversation that I was having on Facebook with a lot of people and TikTok. I was explaining, like, you guys are saying, well, he was already big. You have no idea what I'm talking about when I say this man is immensely large. If something happens to this man, America could go down in flames. Ain't no could either. It's very possible America's going to go down in flames. And that's right on time, because if you've ever listened to what everyone around the world is saying, you will understand that they're not going to force the situation, or they're not going to force themselves on us. Like, just go ahead and invade us and kick in our doors, because that would be a horrible consequence for them. What they are doing is they want us to give the reaction so that they can use the executive orders. The executive orders are in place. If you don't believe me, go to Haiti. Haiti right now, executive orders were to call NATO or call a outside military source to come in. They called Kenya to go to Haiti. They're wearing blue helmets. NATO does not have a military. They pull the resources to go places and handle stuff. Those executive orders are going to get called if we get out of pocket. I would hope none of us get out of pocket. I told you my solution was that everyone sit down for 1 month and don't spend any real money if you don't have to, and just let them go bankrupt, bleed them out dry, and let it just happen. Just let it happen, let them go away, and then go from there. But where we're going on a trajectory rate right now with what just transpired, they're going to get that conflict they're aiming for, because now they got the hearts and strings of Americans. They got everybody involved now. Even people like us in these rabbit holes, we're involved. What are we doing? We're breaking down the information and we're trying to understand the next play. We're trying to make sure that we don't get caught up in it. It's an unfortunate truth. So we're still kind of playing this game with them, but mark my words, I'm telling you, what we saw yesterday, that ain't the end. I want to insert Operation Blackjack and coordinated events around the world, mainly in America. If this group is really what we're saying they are, this satanic death cult, you got to understand that they're not playing fair. They have no real rules other than the universal laws, which they've broken all of them already. They're like on the cusp of breaking the final one, I assume, if they haven't broken all of them already. That's supposed to be the only thing keeping them in line. So when we talk about this whole Trump situation, if you think that man's fighting for the people, you got another thing coming, because I don't buy that. It looks good though. It does. I ain't gonna front. If I was really drinking that Kool-Aid, I would lean with Trump. I'm not gonna lie to you. Biden looks incompetent. He walks like a robot. He stutters every time he has to say something important. Has he managed the country? That's about as it's like saying did Bush Jr. manage the country? Not really. It's not the same thing. Like, it's not, apparently they're all on autopilot. So they're not really managing anything. It just seems like they're getting fat off of us. And now, right before the debate trail starts and the campaign trail starts for like both parties, you have this event. And now we're going to go into the election on fire, possibly. Just an opinion, just a theory. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. You know, they're already calling for civil war on both sides also. I know they are. This is what I'm saying. They have it set up. It is there. It's not done yet. They got a couple more things to do. It's not done. I swear to you, it's not over. There's more to come. We just have to, as a whole, I'm telling you the truth. If you ain't figured it out and you ain't prepared your home, it's going to be hard, because we don't know what this can turn out to. We've never actually seen this before. Yeah, sure, it's a show, but it's a very dangerous show that's involving all of our lives right now. It's not like, oh, it's just a show, it's false flag, it don't matter. No, this shit matters. It's involving all of us. Gun rights are involved right now. Privacy is involved. Oh my God. First Amendment's involved. Everything that happened yesterday, I'm telling you, they can get real petty and start pulling constitutional rights left and right. Because, to be honest, the amount of Americans doing mass shootings, it warrants something to happen extreme, and extreme results bring extreme conflict sometimes. Extreme, it's extreme, I suppose. Does it? Because the more that keeps happening, the more they're going to keep snatching. And the moment we get out of pocket and both sides want to go bump heads, executive orders, snatch. Them executive orders don't go away. You know they don't. We've been under executive orders since the end of Civil War, allegedly. That's at least what it says in the text. So understand, executive order can be used how in any way they want to. So we're in a situation right now that everybody knowing what they're watching and what they're seeing and what's their constitutional rights matter. All this stuff we're talking about, it can't go left unsaid that they're really pulling for it. They're pulling for it. They're telling you about Project 25, the Great Awakening, which is same thing, and then they got the Great Reset 2025, and then you have Agenda 47, which is supposed to be the Great Awakening. It's the same thing. They're just rewording everything. They're gonna let us pick, let us fight it out, and then put executive order on everybody once we put each other through the slaughter, and we're just cannon fodder. That's it. That's the aim for this. And that's why I said yesterday, I'm not jumping to any conclusions as to who died and who didn't die. That's not what I'm jumping to conclusions. My conclusion is, one, Trump did not get shot. Don't care what the news is showing you. They show you a lot of things and y'all don't believe it's real. It don't matter no more. If you see it, you see it. If you know, you know. Ain't no point in explaining. Okay. Two, that's prop blood, or you can nick an ear, but that's not consistent to anything. Three, security failure doesn't even make sense. And for it to be the former president, I don't know too many former presidents with security issues other than him. So I'm just saying, Obama didn't have this problem. Bush didn't have this problem. Clinton didn't have this problem. Just him. Okay, sure. So what's coming now? You're gonna get a couple more spectacles. It's not over. You're gonna get this for about another week or so as far as coverage, and then they're gonna get ready for the debates, and the debates are gonna be so fiery and so insane that, or the it's almost gonna be a show. Everyone's gonna be watching. I'm sure I'm gonna be on here recording it with you guys, watching it in real time, watching the entertainment show and understanding that we're all being played. And there's some people who are in the baby boomer generation giving me phone calls, people I know, and they're like, damn, yo, is this really all just a show? I'm like, it seems that way. You can't fake the death, but that makes for a better show. If I'm lying, then go look at what we're watching on our programming. When someone dies in a show, we're all, oh my God, we got to watch it next week. Here we are. Someone gets shot, someone dies. We got to watch it next week. What we're dealing with right now, man, it's real and it's dangerous, and I wouldn't play with it. I always tell y'all, get your homes in order, get your supplies, whatever you need. Do what you got to do for yourself. No sense in trying to convince the masses. I just come on here because it's the right thing to do. I enjoy it. Haven't been on here as much, but we all know why. So I see this. It's still a lot to process. I really don't want to sit here and discuss this for the next week, and I'm not. What I'm gonna say is, be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared. Okay, because the migrants, they're gonna get hungry. It's gonna get cold. They're gonna come out a lot more. There's gonna be a lot more incidents with them. And I smile because we all know what we're talking about. All right. Look at China, like Miguel said, in their social credit system. They got a lot going on with quarantining right now, and that's all I'm gonna say about them. They're getting ready to start quarantining out there. As far as us, be on the lookout for weird events. Be on the lookout for general strange stories coming out of the media. This isn't the end. You're about to hear some more about this, but you're going to hear a lot of misinformation and propaganda. Just brace yourself for the BS, because both sides are calling for civil war, and I don't know how much longer this is going to hold. I don't know how much longer they're going to keep stringing it along. What I do know is that both sides are preparing to do it. Right? The Trump train was rolling in cities. It's already rolling. The left are already chattering and protesting. It's already starting. Just remember that. I'm not going to keep you up. It's Sunday night. I just wanted to talk to you guys tonight. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Feel free to donate to the Daily Rabbit Hole. You can do that by sending me stars. I appreciate it. Like, share, enjoy the content. Definitely see you guys tomorrow night. It'll be a late show though, so you already know I got to do the late night West Coast schedule. So I'll get up with you guys. You have a good one. This is the Daily Rabbit Hole. Pay attention. Pay attention.